everyone, it's Stacy with Crafty Dragon Creations, and as you can see I have some stuff here on my desk. I want to make some boho style Christmas beads for the collaboration. I've made some already, so I'll just kind of show you what I did here. So it's just some wire wrapped around. Of course, I added a little dangle. This one's not quite boho, but it's made with a paper bead. Then we have this one. It's wire. This, you could even add more to the bottom of that one. And this one with the bell. And this one, whoops, little candy cane. We have this one. And then these are just some dangles that I've made. So I'll just kind of lift that up and you can see. Got some with buttons, some with charms. So in here are the ones that all the beads, I've been busy the past couple days. Just making different beads. These aren't all Christmas. But I did make some more Christmassy so that I could make some today with you. And then these are just some, like the start of beads, which I'll use to make the fabric beads or whatever. These are to be used, not as is, but although this one I might keep, because you can cut this and get, you know, 3 different beads out of that. So but yeah, in here I have, of course, my fabric ones, all kinds of different fabrics. These are from you know, those rugs that you get that you can take apart and you get all the different, I think these are sari silks or something. Anyway, that's what those are. Then I have several just out of paper. A lot of these are made with jelly prints, so that's definitely something to think about, making some of these out of your jelly prints. So those are all just the straight beads, and then I have some, you know, that are shaped like this, different sizes, couple different shapes. Have this one. I don't remember how I made this one. I made it a long time ago. I think it was with a really thin piece of paper that was like a mile long. But I have it. So yeah, and these I don't know if you can see the shine. I covered with just clear nail polish. I just have some cheap nail polish I got from Dollar Tree, and so that's what I used to cover those. I did make one out of, well, actually I made 2 out of felt. I was curious to see what it would look like. This one actually came out better than the first one. The first one, there was all kinds of glue and gunk here because I wasn't very careful, and I wanted to cover that up, so I just wrapped it with this because it's kind of wide, and then I just sewed a little button on it. I kept the, there we go, I kept the strings hanging out. So I thought that was kind of cute. It's different, can definitely be used, but again, this one came out a little better, so I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with that, but you can make them out of felt. So yeah, you can use, here's one, actually I have 2 of these that I just made out of some fabric. This one I put nail polish on to cover it. This one I did not, so it'll probably, you know, end up fraying a bit, but that's okay. I was just curious to see what would happen. And then, of course, you can make your own fabrics. Like, here, I'll show you. What do I do with it? Okay, so let's say you just have a piece of white, or this is like a cream colored fabric. This is an old bed sheet, so whatever that's made out of. You can leave it however long you want. I'm just going to cut this one down a little bit because I don't know if I want to do the whole thing. But for these, I just took a couple of alcohol ink or alcohol markers. You could probably use Sharpie or Crayola, you know, whatever markers you have. Paint pens would work, I'm sure. And then I just took the smaller side and I just made some lines. Nothing fancy or spectacular. Just took the green and the red. Of course, I'm making these for Christmas, but you can definitely do any color you want. You can draw whatever you want on there. You can paint on it. So if you don't have any fabrics that, you know, you want to use or that you can use, then you can just make some, or you can just make paper ones. It's all good. Okay, now for these boho type beads, you're gonna want some, oh, by the way, for the bases you can use rolled up paper. You can use paper straws. You can use bamboo skewers, toothpicks, you know, whatever you have on hand. These are some that I just made real quick in order to have a base to make something like this. Now I do have a couple of these little bead making tools. See, it has the little slit in there, and I'll show you how I make my beads on here. But you can use, you know, anything that's round, like I said, a skewer or a toothpick, just whatever you have available. Some things are a little harder to start rolling them on, but it can be done. And I even made one out of a baby wipe that I had used to clean something up. In fact, it's this one right here. So you can even use your old baby wipes for these. Okay, so let me start by making just like a base to show you what I'm talking about there. So I have some strips of scrapbook paper that I had used for something else, and you can use, these can be any size, however tall you want the bead is how tall you want the paper, obviously. Now this is pretty thin. This one is a little thicker. So like this was used with a pretty thick cardstock, so it can get chunky really quick. This, okay, so you see the difference? This was used with this thinner paper, and it was used with an entire 12-inch length, and it still didn't get as chunky as using the cardstock. So keep that in mind as well. If you're wondering what these are, I use these after I make the beads. I'll put them on here and then put my nail polish on, and then just kind of hang it to dry. It doesn't take very long for these to dry, but these are just some paper clips, and I have, you know, a whole bunch of these, so I didn't mind sacrificing a few for the cause. Okay, so first I'm going to show you how I make the beads, and then we will do some decorating. So I'm going to use my little beater here. Now this paper is taller than my bead thing, but it'll still work. So if you have one of these, you know, to put the paper in the little slot, and then just start rolling. Kind of hold on to that. So we're just gonna roll, keep rolling, rolling, rolling. And if you don't want your bead to be too thick, you can stop here. You can keep going. I want mine to be kind of thick. You could even glue another piece of paper on here and keep going. And then okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off so that I can kind of get this even here. And then you can either use double-sided tape or glue. I'm just going to use glue for this one. And then I roll it, and I want it to squish out so that I know I get the very edge, and then just kind of take that glue and wipe it along the edge there. And then we have, I mean, this in itself could be a bead, but I'm going to use it as a base. So there's that one. To make beads like this, you take a piece of paper that you want to use and you cut it like in the shape, you know, where it tapers. So what I do for this is I take my cutter and I take my paper and I put this end down here at the, you know, where it should be, and I hold it, and then this end I'll move it to however tall I want the bead, you know, however wide. So let's say if you want it an inch, put that there. So I have this held and I have this up here at an inch. So then I'm going to close my cutter and then cut. And there's my slanted piece. And then if you'll just flip this over, line your paper up down here again, and then as you can see, because you've already cut a slant, this is already slanted for you. And I bring my blade back up to here because I think it cuts better than trying to start, you know, at a slanted piece. Okay, and then you can just flip it back over, keep doing this, make bigger ones, smaller ones, however big you want to make. Also, the thickness of your paper will determine how big your bead is, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so I have these. I have some jelly prints. This isn't really Christmas, but I just wanted to show you. So I have different sizes, different colors. This is a great way to use jelly prints, especially those that like your clean off paper or some that didn't come out so great. So something like this is perfect to use that for. Okay, so let's do this one. Now, what I've not been doing and what I think I should do is I want to either ink or color the edge of the paper, just the very edge, because it will, see if I can find one. It can kind of show the white edge, so of course I can't find one that has a defined defined edge. Okay, let's just say, for example, you see how that's white? And if I made this a bead in itself, you would see that white there. So you can always go back and color it while it's together. It is a little bit more difficult. Here's the one that I colored with marker after the fact. But I'm going to go ahead and do this one, and I'm just going to use this green because it's green. So I'm just going to do it beforehand, and I'm just getting the very edge here. Okay, so I have the edges colored. So I'm going to take, and I'll show you how to do it with a toothpick, okay? So what I do is I kind of get this bent a little just to get it going. And I put it on my toothpick. Now don't glue your toothpick on here, otherwise you won't be able to get it out. As tempting as it is. So I kind of... Sorry, I had a phone call. Okay, so we're trying to get this wrapped around. If you can hold on to that as well as bring this over. Just kind of... It'll happen. It'll happen, I promise. And then kind of roll it between your fingers. And I keep unrolling it because I'm trying to get it straight. Okay, and then once you kind of get it going, you can take your toothpick out and then just start rolling it. And if you want to put a little glue along the way, that's fine. You don't really have to. It will help keep it straight as you go, though. As long as you glue it straight, right? And then once I get to about here, I go ahead and put my little strip of glue on there so that it will start sticking. And I just keep going around with that glue that's oozed out, so I know I got the edge down really good. And then there's our bead. And then you can always put it back on your toothpick if you want. And take your nail polish. You can also use Mod Podge. If you don't want the glossy, you can use the matte. Just something to kind of seal it is what I like. But I do like the shiny because they're supposed to be beads, right? Oops. Okay. Good enough. And then you can either like stick this in something. I have some foam over here to the side that I can just stick this in and let that dry. Otherwise, I could also just take it off, hang it on there like that, and then hang it on something to dry. So, oops, make sure it hangs. Okay. So there's that one. I'll show you one using this tool. So I'm just going to put it in that little slot, maybe, and then start twisting. I kind of hold it against my finger so that the paper doesn't come out of that little slot there. So this is a little bit easier to do. And then again, once I get to about there, probably 1.5 to 2 inches out, I'll put my glue and press it closed. And there's that little bead. So then again, I'm gonna stick it on my paper clip and take my clear nail polish, kind of hold it. So there's that one. Then I'm going to hang it over here for that to dry. Okay, so there's my paper ones. Let's do a couple of fabric ones. So we have this that I just drew my lines on. I'm going to take one of my base beads here. This is just paper, like I said. And now this one, we can actually glue this to this because there's a hole here. So I'll be able to get something through there. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to my paper and put it right at the end of my fabric. And then start rolling. And I actually really only need to roll it, you know, where it covers it once. So this can actually make 2 beads. But I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And then you can use double-sided tape here, or just put a little bit of glue. And the tape does work. I've used the tape. And then there's that one. Okay, now I'm gonna do one with a piece of this. So this is obviously way too wide. I'm gonna get my scissors here and cut this down. Oops. Okay, this one I'll use some tape just so you can see. This is also a little less messy, but okay. Let's see. Oh, that's right. All right, and I'm going to cut this down. I don't need all of that. I'm going to go ahead and put my piece of tape down here as well. Putting it as close to the edge as possible. You can also put it up just a little bit further and cut, you know, right at the edge there. Okay. Let's get the tape off. Set my bead on there. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off. Chopped off all my nails the other day. Now I can't can't get under there. Okay. So we have this started, and I kind of try to stretch this out a little bit. Just to, I don't know, makes me feel better. Okay. So then we just roll it right over that tape, and there we go. Easy peasy. And I like to have my material just a little bit wider than the bead itself, than the base that's under there, just so that you don't see it. So there's that one. Okay, here we'll do one with the baby wipe. Now this I've used glue, and I think it's gonna stay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just put a little bit of glue there. Get one of our beads. I may have to trim this one, but just get it on there and start rolling. Now if you want it really chunky, you can roll the whole thing. So that would make a pretty chunky one. If you don't want it that chunky, then just take some of that off. But we'll go ahead and have a chunky girl. So then there's that one. Isn't that cool? Alright, so that's how I make my beads. Let me get situated and we will start decorating them. Okay, so in here I went through my stash and picked out a bunch of beads, just like red, white, green, gold. I got some black, and then I do have some little charms like this little Christmas light. I have a couple little Santas. I have some buttons. I have a few little bells. So just a variety of things here, big, small. I also have some jump rings over here. I don't know if you can see. A couple different sizes of jump rings. So just a variety. I also have wire. I do have green and red, and then I have just regular silver. Oh yeah, and I have some black, a little bit black left. And then I also have somewhere in all this, oh yeah, some white embroidery thread. And then I have some different of these types of threads to decorate with. So we're just going to have a little play, see how this goes. I also have these little, I think you can find these in the jewelry making section, but so I have these two pins and they have a flat head on them. And then there are some in here that have a loop at the bottom. I've used quite a bit of them, so I'm running low. I do have other colors. See how that has a loop at the bottom? So these came together. Now you don't have to have these. You can definitely make the loopy bottom out of just regular wire. And I'll show you how I do that. Mine aren't as good as these, but you know, it works. I'm just gonna try to find a couple more of these real quick. Get them out here. I think I may have to make some. Alright. So let's take one of these, and I do have some of these like topper beads. I have them on here, and those I had to glue just to keep them in place, which is okay, But if you can get one that pretty much matches your bead, then that's even better. You don't have to have these. You can see I don't have them on here. I just have a big bead that goes right up to the top. Alright, so let's start with, I'm going to use the red wire. Now when using colored wire like this, the color can come off as you're messing with it. So, oh yeah, and I also have several pairs of pliers and wire cutters. I have both round-nosed pliers, the bent ones, and I have some regular ones somewhere. It's another round one somewhere. Anyway, nope. Okay, that's fine. So I'm just going to take a piece of wire about this long. I have no idea. It's about 10 inches long, I guess. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. Now, if your little thingy has a big enough hole to fit 2 of these through, this is what I do. I'll bend this, not completely down here, but just enough. And then I take my little thingy, and I want it to cover this way, so I'm going to put it on coming from underneath. And then I'll bring it all the way down. Nope, I did that wrong. We're going to come in from the top, because I want the loop on the top of this. I'm going to push it as far as I can, and that creates your little loop at the top. Okay? So then I'm going to take my bead, I'm going to put it on one of these, just on one end here. I'm going to put it through. Now this kind of takes some finagling, because I want this to be straight-ish, but because I only put one of the wires through, it's going to be a little crooked. So this is kind of why you might want to glue that. So we have one coming out, one going through. I don't know if it'd be easier to see. Is that a little bit easier? Okay. So basically what I'm going to end up doing is this wire is going to wrap around. Okay. But I want to put some beads on before I do that. I'm going to try to do this without gluing that, because that's so messy. Alright, so then just pick you some beads that will fit on here. So, okay, if I could see, that would be good too. There we go. And I'm just going to put a few on, not worrying about where they are. So we'll do gold, we'll do a little red one. Let's do this red one, and then we'll do another green one, and another gold one. You don't have to do it in any sort of pattern. That's just the way I'm doing it. Another red one. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there for a minute. Get that green one out from up there. Get out of there. Okay. Alright, I think what I'm going to do to try to hold this as tight as I can is I'm going to bend this up. So then this will stay in place. Okay, but maybe. Like I said, this is kind of fiddly. So then I'm going to try and wrap this wire around. Till I get to the top, and then I can kind of move my beads, put them where I want them. Maybe one doesn't want to move. There we go. Okay, using those long ones might have been a bad idea. All right, let me unwind this just a little. There we go. Let's get that up there. Get that up there. Get that moved. Okay. Now I'm going to go back around. Alright, so I got that. And I'm just trying to spread these out so they're not all bunched together. Okay, we got that. Ouch. Okay, so we have them kind of spread out. All right, then, so you've ended up here at the top. So I'm going to twist those together and then kind of bend it so it's in the center. And then I'm going to take another one of these topper ones and bring it down. I'm going to twist these again just so that they hold that down. I'm going to twist one around the other, and then this is where you'll want some pliers. Kind of bring those in. Like I said, the color will come off of this wire, so be careful. Get my other ones here. So I've got that around there. And then I'm going to bend this to the side and then bring it back around so that I can make my loop. Cut that off. And then I can adjust as needed. So this is a little loosey-goosey, but I think it'll be all right. There we go. Got some of those spread out a little more. And since it's wire, you can kind of smush it so that it will stay. Then there's one of our beads. And then you can take a dangle you've made. So let's say this one. And put it on the bottom. And you have a little dangle. Cute. Alright, let's do another one. It's maybe not going to be so difficult. Alright, I think I still... Let's see, maybe I want some of these. Alright. This time I'm going to take a silver wire. I want to do that. Yeah, okay. Take some silver wire, just cut some off. And I'm going to put one of these big white ones on there. Well, before I do that, I'm going to make my little loop at the end so that it won't come off. So I'm just taking my wire and I'm going to the very end of my pliers and just twisting that so you get that little loop. So then let's see, let's add one of these little gold things first. See, and then that little loop will stop that. That'll be your stopper. And we're gonna take one of those. Okay. You can make this as fancy schmancy as you want. So I'm going to go through there like that. And then I'm going to put another big white one on there. And another little gold one. Now if I had gold wire, I would probably use gold wire, but I don't, so. Okay. So to close this, you have it like this, okay? Everything's down. So I'm going to bend this to the side. Whoops. And that's gonna come right off. Get that back on there. Okay. So I've bent this to the side. I'm going to cut this down to about a 1/2 inch. Okay. Then you can take your round pliers, come to the end. Sorry, that's a little blurry. And make your loop, and then you can straighten it out. My little pearls want to keep going inside there. But there is that one. Now this one, I think I'm going to use some of this to decorate with. And I think what I'm going to do to try and keep that pearl from going in there is I'm going to tie this around here as far underneath all that as I can. Alright guys, sorry for that abrupt stopping there. I had a phone call that was kind of an emergency, so I had to take it, but don't worry, everything's fine. It's cool. It's just work stuff, like my day job stuff. So anyway, while I was on the phone, I finished this one, and I'll do another one kind of like this. But basically what I did was I tied my string around the top, and then of course I just wrapped it around, and then down here, well actually I tied it here. Down here I wrapped it around tightly underneath this pearl, and then just put a little dab of glue. So I think that should be fine. I've added a jump ring, and then I have this little doohickey. I don't know, it's probably like a clasp or something from a bracelet or a necklace, but I have it, so I thought I would use that and put that on there. So that's all I've done so far. And so now I'm trying to decide what to put on the end of this, and I'm trying to see if this button will fit, oops, on this jump ring. Oh, it does. Oh, that'll be cute. Okay, so I had a little button on there, so I'm gonna put that on there. Uh-oh. Let's try that again. Okay, so put that on there. So I'm going to close my jump ring. So there's that. Isn't that cute? And then this, there's a loop up here, so you can put it on something. That came out really pretty. I like the green and that gold. Okay, let's do one more kind of like that. Here, let's do this one. So this is one that I had already made. Okay, and let's see. I think I'm just going to use my silver wire. So I'm just going to get a piece here. Probably way too long, but that's okay. So again, I'm going to double this up and fold it until I have my little loop at the bottom. And I think I only got one more of these big ones. Okay, so we're going to have to do this. Let's just take a bead. I wonder if I could fit through here. Cool. Okay, well actually let me take a gold one because there's gold on my fabric there, although my wire is silver. Okay, so I can get both of them through there. So I'm just gonna push that down as far as I, woo, a little too far. Let me open this back up. I didn't think I would be that strong. Come on. Okay, I just need enough to put a jump ring through, so let me make sure before I go any further. What did I do? Okay, let me start a little bit over here. Okay, got that spread back out. This is going to stab me. Okay, so this time I'm going to put my pliers through here, if I can get them through there. There we go. And then I'll push this down so my little loop stays open. Alright, do I want to add anything else? This bead is kind of long. Let's see, can I get one of these on there? Ooh, I can. Cool. Alright, so we'll go with that. So I'm going to put one. Nope, I'm going to put both through. Okay, so that's going to be that end. And we'll get another white bead. And another gold star. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I thought I didn't have it long enough. Okay. And then I'm going to twist these two together just a couple times. Get everything straightened back out. Let's see. Okay, so this one is bent this way. This one is bent this way. I'm going to make a loop. Okay, so I have my loop. I hope you guys can see this. What am I doing? Okay. I'm trying to just kind of Alright, let's just cut this one off. I don't really know that there's any special way to do this. I just kind of figure it out as I put them together. Okay, I got it worked out. Okay, so then there is that one. So, to kind of do what I did last time, should we add some red? Would that be too... No. No, I don't think so. Let's add some of this fun stuff. So we're not going to see the bead at all. Okay, let me try to do this here. So I want to tie, no. Okay. I'm going to tie this, hopefully. I don't know if I did it. Stuff is kind of hard to... Okay, let's try this again. So I'm going underneath this pearl. Or that bead, it's not really a pearl. I can't see. Okay. Well, whatever I did, it's stuck on there. Alright, so then we're just gonna wrap it around. And then I'm gonna wrap it underneath this pearl a few times, really tight. Okay. Then I'm gonna cut it, giving myself a little bit of room to add some glue, and then kind of tuck it underneath there and hope that it stays. Ooh, that's a wild one, but it's so pretty. Isn't it pretty? I like it. And then we can take a bead of some sort, or a dangle, or we can make one. You know what, we should put this little, or if we can fit the Santa Claus on there. We put it through. Can I do the old loop-de-loop? Oh, I can. That's still kind of long, isn't it? Okay, well let's take that off. All right, so let's put on a bell. So I'm going to take one of those. One of these. Well, no, I'll take one with the little flat head, because I don't need to hang any more on here. And we'll put let's put a couple little beads on here. Let's do a little gold one. Another little green one. Okay. And then we'll add the bell. No, I don't like that. But I think we can still use it. Hold on. Okay, so I've bent this to the side. Cut off. That's a little less than ½ inch, but it should work. And then, whoops, sorry. I'm gonna bring it around and create our little loop. Here we go. Now I'm going to take a jump ring. I have one already open here. And I'm going to put it through the bell. And through that. And through, whoops. Okay, so we're going to put this on there, and I actually want to put my bead on the other side. So I'm thinking that's how it needs to be for this to do what I'm wanting it to do. That's not what I wanted it to do. But it's kind of cute. It's different. Just kind of hanging off the side. Still jingle jangle. So there's that one. And then you can take paper beads. Oh yeah, so there's this one. Let's see, I'll just try to do this one real quick. I'm gonna take this thing with the little loop on it and put one of these doohickeys on there. Okay, well, I'm gonna put one that actually has a hole. Okay. And then I'll put, how about one of these? And then that. I don't know if I'll be able to fit. Kind of looks like a tomato. And then this one. Ooh. Barely. Okay. So then there's that one. And you can use that as a dangle on another one. Or you can, you know, make this a big dangle. Or this one. So, if you have some charms. Oh yeah, we have the little, let's do the little Christmas light real quick. I don't know how long this video has gone because I've had to stop a few times. Okay. So put it on there. Put it on there. And close it up. There we go. There's another little Christmas bead. And we could even, you know, put something around there if we wanted to. So there we go. There's some bead ideas for you, and some Christmas beads, some boho style Christmas beads. Alright guys, I'm probably going to keep playing here after I go take care of a few work things, and yeah, I might put some pictures at the end of what I've done if I remember to do so. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed this Crafty Christmas in July 24 collaboration. It's been a lot of fun, lots of great videos, lots of great ideas, lots of inspiration. And yeah, go post your stuff in Sweet Pea Papers and Junk Journal tutorials and more, and get your entries in to win prizes. Also, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Trying to get to 1,000. That is my next goal. And yeah, so until the next one. Bye-bye.